Oranga Tamiriki is making immediate changes to the way children are taken into state care after a damning report into an attempt to remove a baby from a Hawke's Bay mother. The ministry has apologised to the family through their lawyer about the attempted removal of a 6-day-old baby from his 19-year-old mother. An internal investigation was launched after Newsroom filmed the attempted uplift in the hospital room as officials repeatedly tried to get the mother to give up the child. The review concludes while safety concerns for the baby meant Oranga Tamiriki needed to get involved, it made a raft of mistakes. It failed to communicate properly with the family, didn't investigate a whānau placement and made decisions before properly engaging with the mother. It says immediate changes will be made to ensure greater scrutiny and oversight when children are taken into care and when it applies for court orders. A short time ago, I spoke to the Chief Executive of Oranga Tamiriki, Gráinne Moss. Having read this report, it appears that you got more wrong than you got right in this case. Is that a fair call?
That's a very fair call. The level of practice that this report outlines was absolutely unacceptable.
How would you describe it?
Oh, as I say, the level of practice that was in this report is unacceptable. This should never have happened, and we need to take decisive action to make sure it doesn't happen again, and that's why we've made a range of changes from today.
You stood very firmly behind your people at the time, and very publicly you did that. So what conversations have you had with the staff who are involved in this now?
Oh, look, there's been a wide range of conversations with staff involved, with partners involved, to get, what we have there is a very robust and rich report. It's a very tough read. So there have been many conversations to unpack what actually did happen, and to make sure that we as an organisation take responsibility for that, and also make changes, and reflect and learn and grow from this so that we never do this again.
So all the people involved in the taking or the attempt to take that particular child, are they all still in their same roles?
No, they're not. There have been significant changes.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Not really, Lisa, in terms of there's a range of, privacy, personal issues, but, it's very obvious from this report that changes needed to happen and changes have happened.
So have some people lost their jobs as a consequence of this?
There have been significant consequences for a number of people.
So job losses, that doesn't breach anyone's privacy? Job losses?
Oh, look, there's also some processes that are still ongoing, to be fair, and I wouldn't want to prejudice those.
What have you said to the whānau involved in this?
So what I've done is I have I did ask through their representatives if I could meet them and give a personal apology, and they didn't want to do that, and I respect that. What I've done is I have written a separate letter to both Mum and to Dad and given that to their representatives, and that outlines a very profound apology, and if they would like me to deliver that face to face, my door is always open.
Your door is open? You want them to come to you?
Oh, no, what I'm just saying is, I'm very happy to go to them wherever they want to meet, and if they want to meet in 3 months' time, 9 months' time, in a year, what I'm saying is our priority is to do what this whānau want us to do and make sure that they are at the centre, so I will respond to whatever they request. What
damage do you think your agency has done to this family?
Oh, I think we have caused hurt and harm, and that is, and I'm deeply, deeply sorry about that.
How did it end up like this?
Look, I think the report is a tough read.
What's tough about it? What is the toughest bit for you to look at in that report?
The toughest bit for me is that we didn't do the right thing for the family. We were right to be involved, but we didn't do it the right way, and we caused harm. We're here to help families and children. We're here to, give them opportunities to be the family they want to be the parents we want to be, and we didn't do that. And that actually, I find that deeply, deeply upsetting.
The thing is, though, you didn't just make one mistake, did you? Let's go through some of them. You made decisions without engaging with the mother or extended whānau or other professionals working with the whānau. Insufficient thought was given to a whānau placement. For example, the grandparents, you relied heavily on old information about the family, and there was no evidence, the report found, that social workers invested the right amount of time in this family. You didn't share information with them in a timely fashion, and, well, you kind of ignored their mana, really. So how did all of that happen?
I think the report lays it out very clearly that...
I'm asking you how you think it happened.
No, I know, but at many stages we didn't engage. We didn't engage early enough. We relied too heavily on individual judgment and on historic information. We didn't explore options and opportunity. We didn't do current assessment of where the whānau were at.
Why didn't you
think
do all of those
things? It's very,
things?
very poor practice, and it's absolutely unacceptable. We should absolutely not have done that.
But it doesn't answer the question as to why you did it. So was it arrogance or incompetence or overloaded staff? Why?
I think it's probably a range of factors. I think the big thing that came from me was, from reading the report from me, Lisa, was they're not doing it together, not doing it with the family, not talking with the family, not talking with their representatives, not working for solutions. There were legitimate concerns. So the lack of engagement both with the family and externally, I think then led to a series of events and meant that we didn't have, or the practitioners didn't have, all of the information that they should have collected and needed to have to make the right decision.
Is there a cultural issue at Oranga Tamiriki? Is it that the agency thinks it's always right?
Absolutely not, and we don't think we're always right, and actually I'm very clear that we aren't always right, and we also don't have the solutions. We need to make those solutions together, and this report reinforces that.
The thing is, your press release today says that Oranga Tamiriki was part of a bold overhaul in care. Nothing about this looks particularly bold. I mean, arguably, it shows that nothing in the behaviour has changed. How are you going to clean this up and restore confidence?
I think, first of all, by being open and transparent. The report is warts and all, by accepting that we absolutely did the wrong thing and by taking steps to fix that. And we've put in a number of steps, particularly around taking babies into care. We will expect that all babies are brought into care with family support, with a clear plan. And if they need to be brought into care because there's imminent and immediate danger, that will get signed off at a regional level, and that evidence will need to be tested by someone independent to the site before it's submitted to the family court.
But why did you need a report like this to tell you that you had done this so badly wrong?
You're absolutely right, Lisa. It is very sad that we did need a report like this.
But why couldn't you see it? Why couldn't you see it at the time? I assume you watched the video of the attempt to take the baby. Why couldn't you see that something was not right here?
I could absolutely see that something was not right. I wasn't quite sure exactly what wasn't right and what we needed to do to fix it. That's why I commissioned the report. That's why we did it in partnership with Ngāti Kahungunu. We had independent oversight from a representative that they nominated, and also we had independent oversight from the Office of the Children's Commissioner, so that we could unpack everything that happened. It was a highly emotive event, so I wanted to make sure that we got to the bottom of everything.
But are you not across how your frontline people are operating here? Because presumably the buck stops with you, and there are some very fundamental things that they got wrong here, really core practice in what is supposed to be an agency that is changing its ways. So are you not across what's going on the front line?
Look, I think in this case that we did get it wrong, and I'm the CE, so you're absolutely right. I'm responsible for what happens in my organisation, and it's up to me to fix it.
So are you not across what is happening on the front line of your agency?
That's why we've commissioned the review, in terms of actually really getting the detail of all of our partners' views of what happened and what we need to change. Really what this is.
But were you oblivious to these issues before getting the report?
Have we been working with our partners to try to prevent kids coming into care? Absolutely we have, and that's something that we want to continue to do. Have we been working closely enough with Ngāti Kahungunu? No, we haven't. And what this report does, and the work that we've done with them so far, provides another opportunity to work differently.
Would you try to take that baby again?
Well, what I would...
If this situation presented again, would you try and take the baby?
No, because what we would have done is we would have done the proper assessment. We would have looked at all of the options. We would work with our partners, and we would have worked with the whānau to make sure that that baby was safe and supported.
How many babies has Oranga Tamiriki taken off their families in the past year?
And what we have seen is we actually have seen a reduction in terms of the number of babies taken into care. There's a couple of things. I mean, every situation is unique, and we need to work through each family.
So how many uplifts? Can you give me that number for the past 12 months?
Well, it depends what you mean in terms of uplifts. I mean, sometimes actually babies are brought into our care, but they actually stay with the whānau in terms of ensuring that whānau have additional support to keep the baby safe.
Okay, so Section 78 orders, how many of those have you executed in the last year?
Well, we've made that information publicly available. What I know is that in the month of, we basically average around 48 to 90 a month.
So
that may not be for babies, however, so there's a range.
And how many of them are Māori babies?
Oh, well, we have an overrepresentation of Maori. So what we do have is we have, a 60% of the children in care are Maori, so there is an overrepresentation.
So what assurances can you give us that those other uplifts were handled correctly, given the significant number of mistakes that were made in this case?
What we can absolutely give an assurance is from today that there is new processes that are...
that doesn't help the families that have already gone through an experience with Oranga Tamiriki. So again, those other cases, what assurances can you give us that they were handled correctly? Are you going to do anything to check back over those?
Yes, look, there's a range of activity that is ongoing, Lisa. So what we do have is we have a number of families that have come forward to us, and I'm making sure that those cases are reviewed independently, in terms of independent of the
How
site
many
and
of those
social worker
cases?
that made. There's actually very few that have come through to us, but then you also have the review that the Ombudsman's doing and the review that the Children's Commissioner's doing,
of course.
And we're supporting them.
But I'm talking
providing
to you about what you are doing. So do you have a number for the cases that you're going to review? How many?
What we are going to be doing is we're going to be reviewing every month all of the Section 78s without notice.
And so the cases that you've just mentioned, where some people have come to you, how many of those are being reviewed?
Oh, if people have asked me for a review, I've said yes.
Can you give me a number? That's what I'm asking for, a number. Do you know how many cases are being reviewed, uplift cases, internally?
Yeah, what we've done is we've looked at anything that has come forward to us, so we'll continue to do that.
Do you not have the number?
There's a range of people that are looking at these cases.
Do you have a number for the number of cases that you are reviewing for uplifts? How many cases are you reviewing?
So if we look at this report, what this report was, this was a very, very deep review into one case. And then what we have is we have an internal and external complaints process. So there'll be some cases that will be going through that. There's also the work being done with the Ombudsman, the work being done with the Children's Commissioner.
Is there a reason that you don't want to give me a number? Or
no, it's because actually there's multiple people working on them, and the Ombudsman is independent of myself. So I don't actually know all of the detail in terms of what they're looking at as well.
But in terms of internal reviews by your agency, how many files are you looking back at?
A small number.
What is that number?
It's a small number at the moment, in terms of some of the cases that have some of the attributes that were in this case. So that's what we've looked at.
So you don't know the number, or you don't want to share it?
It's a very small number. No, it's a very small number. It's a handful at the moment that have the same attributes. Sorry, some of the same attributes as this case.
Okay. How many?
It's about 5 at the moment.
Thank you.